Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Today we are going to discuss about important MCQs of biology. Chapter number 1, biology and its major field in the specialization. These all MCQs are important for your KPPSC, PPSC and FPSC test. Okay? Okay, starting with the first one. Which of the following is not included in biology? You have to read the options and tell me that which of the following not included in biology. ओके पढ़ें ज़रा कौन सा बायोलॉजी में इंक्लूड नहीं है. Study of animal is included in biology. Study of plant is also included in biology. Study of atom and molecule is also included in biology. Is that right? No. Study of atom and molecule is not included in biology. ठीक हो गया. Which one who deal with the living part of the world and non-living things which affect the living things. Okay. The second one is one who deals with the living part of the world and non-living part which affect the living thing is a biologist. Okay. Living thing possesses all the following characters except can acquire and use energy, cannot maintain fairly constant internal environment, contain genetic program of their characteristic, respond to change in their environment. Which of the following is the characteristic is not the characteristic of the living organism, and it is a cannot maintain fairly constant internal environment. Okay, this is exception. All of the following are different branches of biology except which is not the branch of the biology. It is the geography is not a branch of the biology. Which of the following branches of biology deal with a living organism in relation to their environment? It is all environmental biology. Okay. Then the study of organisms living in lakes, river or lakes is known as microbiology, marine biology, social biology or freshwater biology. And the river and lakes are the example of freshwater ecosystem. Okay. So the correct answer is freshwater biology. Use of a living organism system or processes in manufacture and service industries is known as it is biotechnology. The correct answer is alpha biotechnology. Formation of insulin by factories for human use comes under biotechnology. Number of the bioelements are how many number of bioelements are there? Are total 16 bioelements. Okay. The six common bioelements account for what percentage of total mass in human body? And it is about 99%. Okay. 65% of bioelement is hydrogen, nitrogen, carbon, oxygen. Oxygen is the 65% of six bioelement that is make the total mass of human body. Okay, then correct oxygen and answer is oxygen. Element found only 1% in living organism is oxygen, carbon, nitrogen or phosphorus. The phosphorus is only 1% in a living body. Which of the following element is not found in trace in living bodies? Which of the following is not used as a trace? And the correct answer is C. Calcium is not found in a trace. Okay, it's a macro element. Second most abundant bioelement is carbon, that is 18%. Okay, the highly structured living substance of which of the following things are composed of? Highly structured living substance is uh, highly structured living things are composed of protoplasm. Proton are the subatomic particle. Okay, atom का particle है. A molecule composed of both carbon and hydrogen are known as what we call them. We have studied many times. It is a molecule which involve carbon and hydrogen is known as organic molecules, in which do not contain carbon, hydrogen, or which contain in a very minor amount is inorganic molecules. Okay, micromolecule can have carbon and hydrogen in their molecule. Micro is small molecules, and macro are large molecules. Organic molecules which contain carbon and hydrogen specifically. Inorganic molecules do not contain hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen, or contain in very small amount. Which of the following is a direct source of energy in a living body? Which of the following is a direct source of energy? ATP is a direct source of energy. Okay, subcellular structure are known as subcellular within a cell. What is a subcellular structure in a, we called as organelles. Within a cell, we contain cell is made up of organelles. All of the following are double membrane except which of the following is not double membrane? Vacuole is not a double membrane. All other are double membrane. Group of the different tissue organized to perform a function with great efficiency. Group of the different tissues. What is we will say that a group of tissues, what different tissue will combine to form an organ. Okay, the organ level of organization is much less definite in plants. Which of the following is not well defined in plants than animals? Organs. Plants do not have a specific type of organ. All of the following functions are performed by root except anchor the plant. It's true. Manufacture food, no. Manufacturing of food is carried in the leaf, source in zinc. Okay. Which organ of the plant is involved in producing next generation sexually? Flowers. Flowers, the reproductive part of the plant. Okay. Very similarly, potentially interbreeding organism are very similar. Potentially interbreeding organism are called species. Okay. One of the following is recorded as a dynamic collection of the organism. It is a population. Dynamic collection of the organism. It is community. Okay, not population. The distribution of organism can be studied through biome. Okay, biome is a large regional community primarily determined by climate, and where the distribution of organism is studied through the biomes. The first living organism originated how many years ago? It is about 3000 million years ago. Radioactive isotope contained by oldest sediment layers is less than younger sediment layer. Total number of species identified so far are 2.5 millions. Total number of species, non-species of animal, how much? About 73%. It can be C option. 9.4% of total species are known. 9.4% of total species known are algae and fungi. Life of today has come into existence through the life which is going today is the existence of, according to the evolutionary theory, the phyletic lineage. The systemized knowledge is known as science. Is a science systemized knowledge, a term which includes rest of others science. In the science we it follows with the biology, chemistry, and physics. One of the following is not a characteristic by our hypothesis. Experiment can be proved true or false. It can be converted into theory or law. It is less exploratory than a theory or law. It is always a religious idea. What is wrong? What is not a characteristic hypothesis? It is always a religious idea. It cannot be a religious idea always. Which of the following is true for deductive reasoning? It moves from general to specific. It draws specific conclusion for some general principle. It is used to devise a hypothesis. All of these. Okay, it can be from general to specific. It is also a deductive. डिडक्ट करते हैं ना जनरल से स्पेसिफिक कुछ स्पेसिफिक conclusion from general principle. Hypothesis result of deductive reasoning, or it can be a consequence of all of this. It can be inductive reasoning, static preference, intuitions. Scientific way to form hypothesis is intuition, static preference, all of these. Okay, thus statement which is considered tentative explanation of observation is deduction. Scientific law is All of the above. A uniform and constant fact of the nature, virtually irrefutable theory, a theory continuously supported by experimental evidence on all of these. A series of hypotheses supported by result of many tests is called as hmm, it could be theory. Which branch of science is short in laws? Biology. Which of the following is correct sequence? What first of all, what is the correct sequence? Observation, hypothesis, law, theory. Observation, hypothesis, detection, experimentation, hypothesis, observation, detection, experiment. The correct one is observation. Always, whenever you are going to do something, you will observe first. Then you will form an hypothesis. And sorry, first you will observe something. Then you will I hypothesize that. Then you will reduce some result and then experiments. The branch of the body which has helped mankind in which of the following ways? Increasing food production, combating disease, conservation of environment, all of these. Okay. Plant and animal breeder have developed new varieties by which of the following? Selective breeding, use principle of genetics, biology control A and B. A and B. Selective breeding in use of principle of genetics, we can increase the variety of the organism. Okay. One of the most common source of getting quick and cheap white meat is through broilers. Gene of disease resistant other desirable characters are introduced into the plant by using genetic engineering. Plant having foreign DNA incorporated into their cell are known as transgenic plants. Okay, all of the following do not produce transgenic insertion of desired gene in the organism, replacement of a nucleus of unfertilized egg with the diploid of the nucleus somatic cell produced from zygote asexual. Which of the following do not produce transgenic organism except insertion of desired gene in an organism? Astronaut may use it for growing vegetable. Hydroponic upon hydroponic cultural technique. Control by living organisms that help eliminate toxicity caused due to fungicides and pesticides is biological control. Technique used to determine nutrient requirement of a plant is this hydroponic culture. One of the following techniques used to preserve milk and milk product. This is also a pasteurization. It was a technique introduced by Louis Pasteur to preserve the milk production from the spoilage and damaging its quality. Okay, he first developed technique of vaccine. Who developed the firstly by whom the technique of the vaccination was developed? It was one of the scientists known as Edward Jenner, and the B option. And he developed developed the technique of vaccination. Many disease, polio, whooping cough were there, and he developed the technique. In the chemotherapy, cancerous part exposed to shortwave radiation, administration anti-cancerous chemical to the patient, gene therapy, all of these. Administrating certain anti-cancerous chemical to the patient. A technique used to repair the defective gene is gene therapy. A technique to replace defective gene by the normal gene is gene therapy. All of the following can treat cancer except antibiotic is used to treat for the elimination of the bacterial diseases. Okay, not used for the cancer treatment. A cell or an individual in its entire asexually produce offspring is known as clone. Cloning could make multiple copies of desired genotype used to produce genetically identical cattle. Commercial production of valuable animals, all of these is the correct option. A technique for achieving eugenic aim is cloning. Commercial production of valuable animal of non pedigree can be done by tissue culture technique. Okay, integrated disease management include using all method to combat disease, participation of community, both A and B, none of these, C option. A very effective program for the elimination and control of dangerous disease from the human society is integrated disease management. Species could clone so far as sheep, mice, cows, all of these. Which is true for industrialization? Has helped mankind to raise the standard of living, has destroyed our environment, A and B, or none of these. True क्या है? A and B both are. Degradation of toxic material by living organism is known as bioremediation. Okay, that's all from the first chapter.